And staying in Europe, U.S. Vice President Joe Biden arrived in Ukraine as part of efforts to defuse the crisis in the east of the country. Paul, this visit comes as tensions have yet again reignited between government forces and pro-Russian separatists.
Right, and Biden will be holding talks with Kiev's leaders on that very conflict, which has been drawn out over this past year. This as the Ukrainian government says it hopes Washington will offer some support in order to break the deadlock. The visit also comes as the country marks the first anniversary since the start of the revolution that toppled the former president, Viktor Yanukovych. Our Kim Hyun-bin reports.
U.S. Vice President Joe Biden arrived in Kiev on Thursday to discuss new non-lethal aid to Ukraine, including deliveries of the first Humvee vehicles as an expansion of support to fight pro-Russian separatists in the country's east. Russia warned the U.S. hours before Biden's arrival against the move.
We have heard repeated confirmations from the U.S. administration that only non-lethal weapons are being delivered to Ukraine. If there is a change in such policy, then we can speak of a serious destabilizing factor that seriously impacts the balance of forces in this region.
Russia cautioned against a major change in policy from the U.S. in regard to the conflict in Ukraine.
That would be a direct violation of agreements reached. The Geneva Statement from April 17th, where apart from the major task for starting national dialogue in Ukraine, the task of stopping all fighting in this territory was repeated again.
The U.S. backs Kiev in its struggle against pro-Russian rebels in two eastern regions and imposed sanctions on Moscow as a result of its alleged support. Russia denies providing the rebels with arms and troops. Washington says it will continue to assess how best to support Ukraine and that nothing is off the table, including lethal aid. The United Nations says more than 4,300 people have died since the conflict sparked in mid-April. It adds that nearly 1,000 people, or an average of 13 people per day, have been killed in fighting since a ceasefire was called on September 5th. Kim Hyun-bin, Arirang News.